See, with my personal experience in organized stalking and these forms of covert surveillance and all these smear campaigns and just different tactics I've experienced when these people have came against my life in various forms, I feel as though, number one, yes, it is false watch listing. It is surveillance done by people in higher positions of authority, as well as communities and, community-based agents and that sort of thing. So there is a authoritative type of organization and a very clean cut way that this is carried out. I don't know what they're telling these people, or I don't know the motives that they're telling these people to get them to feel like they're standing for a cause by all coming up against one individual and their livelihood. And on the other end, I think that with me personally, it gets on a personal level when it'll be your own family that are participating. And if you have like a stepmom or stepdad, a person who's not your biological parent, who never liked you in the first place, especially if they have one child, which is your sibling, but you don't have the same parent, you start to see how people who aren't really your full blood relatives kind of hate you more, or are jealous or envious of you more than what they would be even if they were your blood relatives. Now, some people, even their blood relatives, which with me, I have blood relatives that are even participating in this as well. But you start to see how there's like a personal side to it as well. So you have gang stalkers on the street, you have perps, community-based agents, and all these people on the street that don't even know you personally, that are going off of what somebody else said to come against your life, while at the same time having people who have known you since you were a child or are related to you participating in it as well. So that's when you really start to see the true colors of individuals. You really start to see, especially if you were always casted out or used as a scapegoat around these family dynamics, made to be the so-called black sheep. It's not something that you wanted. It's a position that, a group of hateful people, even family members, gave you. People who can't take accountability for their own lives or their own actions, or people who just solely operate in gossiping, judging other people, misrepresenting other people, and actually they bond over this. So when you're born into basically a family of haters, or people who will clap and be quick to celebrate other people, even strangers, but when it comes to you, nothing, then you start to really realize how evil this society as a whole, and even people you're related to, can be. And then to tie all that in, I think that a lot of TIs have life insurance policies on them. I've seen TIs also talk about how family members have stolen their identities and used their identities, or stolen inheritances or things that were left to them. And I think I'm sort of in that boat. I don't have concrete proof, but I know my grandfather really loved me. And if there's anybody that I felt true love from, like that really cared about me being here, and that really cared about me and wanted the best for me, was my grandfather. But he passed when I was really young. So when I bring up things like asking about what happened to his belongings, or because he worked hard, I know he had money as it is, and it ain't even about the money. But when I ask about these things, a lot of people play stupid. A lot of people, they're real vague. So that can be a motivation as well. There's different types of motivations that are behind this, and usually money is one of the main causes. At least when you come from people who like to hide a lot of secrets. And so even when it comes to the cyber stalking, even when it comes to the online random subliminals I would see if I'm using certain social media platforms, you start to connect the dots when you see profiles with certain last names and people in your life doing certain things. Everybody acting weird around you, like everybody's in on something. Everybody acting condescending. And yet you're the only one who's not in on it, or you're the only one who's not clued into what's going on. So I say this because these people will perp you. Your own family members will perp you. They'll do the color coordinating. They'll do all these things. And at the very same time, it's all because the ultimate goal of this is to basically have you slow killed. And at the end of the day, when they're done doing the perping and doing all these things, mocking, throwing subliminals, I mean, even people's own mom, even your own dad could be involved in this. I've seen it firsthand because I have a narcissistic mother. They do all these things hoping and premeditating your funeral so they can be there and fake cry and show fake sympathy like they actually gave a shit about you. And that's how evil this is. That's how evil this is. And the whole thing about this is a lot of people try to play God in other people's lives. That's what I think. So, yeah, it is higher government entities. Yeah, it is people in places of authority. But first and foremost, they're going to get the people around you involved in it. Because that's how the enemy works. The enemy likes to kill, steal, and destroy. And the enemy likes to operate through the people closest to you. And that's why they try to, excuse me, I just woke up a while ago. That's why they try to sabotage your finances. That's why they try to sabotage your vehicles. That's why they try to sabotage anything that can result in forward movement or you escaping from these people or these environments, because they want you stagnant. They want to have somebody to feed off of energetically, especially if you're an empathetic person and you're surrounded by a bunch of heartless, hating-ass, narcissistic people who only engage in partying or clubbing every weekend and gossiping about the next person. So if you actually try to find a deeper purpose in life, or are actually trying to make your existence or your life count, to the best of your ability and just do right by people, these type of people, that's not nowhere in their caliber. And perps, gang stalkers, haters, they're all one and the same. All these individuals have the same mindset. Like I said, it's kill, steal, and destroy. And another thing, cowards love groups. Cowards love to operate in groups. So, this organized stalking, these forms, all these tactics, these forms of surveillance, and all the subliminals, all the directed conversation, all of the ostracizing and mocking and things like this. This has really shown me to keep my distance and be aware. And just like I don't trust somebody just on the street, I don't even trust the people I live with or family on that level either. I look at them the same as somebody walking on the street. And sometimes, that's how you gotta live, because it's not being paranoid, it's not being defeated, it's not being worried, but just like these people think that they have the right to live and they have the right to privacy, and they have the right to their own life, we do as well too. Just because you're a targeted individual, that doesn't mean that you have to give up or let these people just make you feel defeated. Because at the end of the day, they have things in their closet. You know what I mean? They have skeletons in their closet. That's the thing. That's the hypocritical part about all this. It's a bunch of people trying to judge you based off a lie. A bunch of corrupted pigs, a bunch of corrupted people in positions of authority. Hating ass family who sold you out, trying to get money off your death and live off your name. All these pieces of shit trying to make you out to be somebody you're not, while at the same time you've done nothing even close, or you're not participating in nothing even close to what these people do behind closed doors and the skeletons they have in their closet. All the organized crime, all the surveillance, all the phone tapping, the violations of human rights. So I say that to just let it be known that with my personal experience, I'm speaking from my personal experience. These are my opinions on the matter. But from my personal experience, I think that I was put in this since birth. I think I was born into a family of perps, of people who are doing this shit to other people, who have done this to other family members. That's probably why a lot of family members passed away. I've lost a lot of family members since I was young. I can't remember how many funerals I've been to. And I would always wonder, like, why do so many people just go like that so quick? And then I started realizing, a lot of these people probably weren't even sick. A lot of these people probably didn't go by natural causes. Now that I know it, everybody's involved in this bullshit. All the fake coughing, all the subliminals, all the color coding by people you live with. Imagine how many more are involved. And that's why, you won't find me at no family party. You won't find me at no get-together where they're in groups. And that's what you gotta do as a TI. You gotta protect your energy. You gotta protect your peace. Because at the end of the day, these people are participating in something that's meant to get you to take yourself out, you to crash out, or them trying to set you up. And then they're gonna fake cry at your funeral like they actually gave a fuck. And that's the reality of this world we live in. It is very evil in nature. And then you got the people with the badges who are supposed to be the peacekeepers and protectors of society, the same ones that are orchestrating these things and riling these people up to come and group up against you at the end of the day. So you see how this world's backwards. And I appreciate anybody who stayed and watched and tuned in. Anybody who showed love and subscribed to the channel. I truly mean that, because I know how it feels to go through the worst, at least things I felt like were the worst moments. And I just speak from experience. I make these videos when I feel. So I hope y'all have a good Saturday and y'all are doing good out there and taking care of yourselves. I see the comments. Sometimes I see them late. Sometimes they delete the comments, but I get the notification. I just want to put that out there too. I'm not ignoring anybody. And y'all take care of yourselves, man.